Hey guys, it's your boy Kimani Bunwarrie, your favorite YouTuber, and as you guys see, today it's my first episode of the Kimani Bunwarrie Podcast, and today I actually have a guest with me. He's a longtime friend of mine since grade 7, and today we'll be discussing religion. Is religion really losing its significance in today's society? Is it really worth it? And I think that this kid really has some really amazing views and perspective on religion. And religion is something that I think well back then people would normally say it's something that it's very influential and it helps people go through tough times, including God. But my problem with religion now, like looking into it and eyes being open, I don't think that religion really has its significance to its level as what it's supposed to be, because religion, the main thing about religion is that it's all about God. It's all about one God, which is mainly through Jesus, who died on the cross to save us from perishing in hell and all of that. But there comes the problem that comes in. It's with the division. Like, I don't understand why if we're all worshiping the same God, why is there division? Why is there disunity? Because, like, for example, in a Christian household, you have some are Sabbath, you have some worship on Saturday, some people worship on Sunday, and under the different umbrella there's different denomination to which people classify themselves, and there's disunity because all of us are worshiping the same God. It's the same God, so why should there be disunity? And at the same time too, in religion you have other different beliefs, like Hinduism, like them worship statue, them worship all of these things, them worship more than one thing, and them call it them God. You have Rastafarianism, where people who are Rasta and them worship all of these things. You have the Muslim. So at the same time, there's this unity. So with all of that being said, I, in my own opinion, me think that there's only one God, and me would classify myself under religion anymore, to be honest. Like, me now say, before me even get attacked by people, me now say me don't believe in God, because at the same time religion, it has to deal with God. The main thing is God and his love for us. But in religion there is this unity, like, so many things happening, and with all of these fake preaching and the fake pastors, like the situation what happened with TD Jakes and P Diddy, like that is drawing people away from religion, is drawing people away from God. So I wouldn't classify myself under religion, but I know the God that I worship. I know that Jesus is the one I worship, so I do it to the means of classifying myself under religion. So Matthew, what are your perspectives on religion though?
First of all, I'd like to say my name is Matthew. I'm from Jamaica, and my perspective on religion. First of all, what you explained, Kimani, within Christianity, there's different denominations. It's all the same religion, it's all the same unity, but it's just a different. It's all people all translate a religious book and a religious text in their own way, because there's no official way to act. There's no one who can officially say this is what God meant. This is what everyone translates a religion in their own way. That's why there's this disunity. The Muslims have it. You have the Shia, the Sunnis. You have the different Muslim denominations. I'm not sure about Hinduism. I don't know much about that religion, but I would assume they also have those type of stuff. I believe every religion has their own type of religion, and then after they have their own type of sub-religions. And the thing is, religion is not easy to define. I personally believe, yes, there is a God. Is there multiple gods? I do not know. Does the God have a name that we know? That is not possible to know, because the fact of the matter is there are thousands upon thousands of religions with multiple religious books, and who are we or who am I to say that any religion is so to say false? I mean, I personally believe more in African religions, seeing as that scientifically the first race was the black race, and was the African race, and Africa is the place where you find the first people. So in my mind, that translates to me that any god that there is has to pertain to Africa. And the problem with this Christianity and this religious thing is we are worshiping a white god. The god was brought to Jamaica through colonization, through force. If Jamaicans brought God into their heart without this colonization of force, I would not say anything. But all of these gods are just, yeah, they are a contribution of the Jamaica's colonization, and it's frankly to me that religion is just this thing that people use to make themselves feel better, but in a proper way. There's no real proper unity as people, and religion only seeks, in my mind, to divide most people, because you can have someone. There are some religious people who don't try to divide race and religion, but a lot of religious people will have a problem if someone does not follow their religion or does not believe in their religion, and will try to pressure a type of religion, which is not really the best thing to do if you're advocating for a religion. So that's my view personally, that religion is this type of it's losing its traction today in these times, because not everyone wants to verify with every single stand of not everyone wants to verify with a preaching from thousands of years ago. Not everyone wants to have to be told what to do, have to be going to church and those stuff. Like, honestly, a lot of people want freedom, and religion does not guarantee some of these freedoms. That's my view.
All right. I definitely agree with what you're saying. So you're basically saying that religion is basically losing its significance, right?
Right.
All right. So with my perspective, I kind of agree with, and I kind of like the connection that brought between Africa and Jamaica, because regarding to some stuff, especially with the foolishness with them teaching at the school, like them teacher and them talk about all the Africans. So first of all, before I say that we are from African descent, and I kind of have a feeling that majority that came from Africa through slavery, majority of us would be like Hebrew Israelites. Well, people might say them don't believe people Israelites them dead out, but me feel like we are from the African descent and all that. But men agree in a history, and them talk about all the people the African them pick from Africa, like them say them bring in Obi, and them never did know how to read and write, and them never, all of these nonsense talk about, especially pertaining to religion. So when that no, them a make the Africans them look like say, oh, them bring in Obi and them, and then them a got start to preach, and them a got talk about say about the white people them bring in Christianity, and they make them know God, and all of them stuff me are just rubbish to my ears, because like it just don't make sense. So where you think you really and truly believe that the white, if them are gonna say the white people are the one that bring in the religion, and the Africans never did have any religion, think say them there was some form of control there, them basically bring religion for control people.
May I add on to that point of what you're saying? The fact of the matter is, historically and factually, any Jamaican who does a DNA test, at least most Jamaicans, 80% of Jamaicans, or probably even more, who would do a DNA test right now, most of that DNA test would come from either Nigeria or Ghana. Those countries, I don't know anything about them having any Hebrew Israelites. What I do know, however, is that the longest standing Christian country in Africa is Ethiopia, and I'm pretty sure, like, there is almost no Jamaican, and if there is a Jamaican, well, there's a very low percentage of Jamaicans who probably even have any ancestry in Ethiopia. So this argument of Hebrew Israelitism and so on, it's not exactly correct. What is correct, however, is that Europeans use the African religions to say, oh, they are below us. They worship these gods. They burn stuff. They idolize this. They do this. And frankly, the point of the matter is that the Christian religion, it wasn't. I'm not saying Christianity was invented to control people. Personally, in my opinion, religion as a whole is invented to control people. The whole way of religion, not just one specific religion, not just Christianity, Muslim, Islam is meant to control people. Judaism is meant, because religion is control. If you can have people go to war over a certain belief, is that not control, or what would you describe that as a word if it's not control?
Well, I would really describe it in any way, but me just still would have stick to it as control, because as me I said, the beliefs and the different, like killing somebody because me believe in Jesus, and because me believe in Jesus, and take like the example with cult, like in some form of cult that people take place in, right? Them not really believe like in spiritual being, like with God per se. Them, if them believe in God, but it's not the God where we as Christians worship, them believe in like Satanism and all of them stuff there. So because them believe in a Satanism and we believe in Christ, them are gonna start to say, oh, you not believe in a few things, so we're gonna kill her because of that. So that are basically control, because you want we under your control to believe in cult, which is rubbish to
a cult in a certain thing is not really a religion. It's more of a type of, a cult is worse than a religion, because it's more controlled around. A cult is like it's the guise of religion, but instead of actually following a god, you're actually following the person leading the cult. That's the problem with a cult. So there's a difference with that. But my point mostly is religion as itself. Every religion has its holy person who if he was to declare, or if he was to tell his followers to go to war, a decent amount would go to war for him. In the Middle Ages, they had the Crusades. They had the crusade led by the Pope. They had the Imam. They had the in the Middle Ages, for the Muslims, they had the Caliph. The Caliph was like the leader of some of the Muslims. Yeah, in every religion there's this leader, and these leaders use their power to either wage war, to spread their belief, or to give their own definition of a religious book. And what I'm saying is, even in countries like Nigeria, where the population is half Christian, half Muslim, you have Christians murdering Muslims, and you have Muslims murdering Christians over their beliefs. And I believe, we as black people, you don't see in Europe European Muslims killing European Africans and different religions. You don't see that, because first of all, we as black people, we take religion a bit too over the top. We don't know where to draw the line in religion, where a person, you're allowed to have your beliefs, and you're allowed to feel offended if someone disrespects your beliefs, but you're not allowed to kill someone or hurt someone because you feel your beliefs have been harmed, or because you feel you've been disrespected. That's not allowed. But nonetheless, people will still do it and call themselves Christians and call themselves Muslims, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure their gods does not endorse that action. But the point is that over the years, religion is just being, as you said, it's lost its value. A lot of people are becoming either atheists or switching to other religions. I've personally decided to embrace more of an African type of way of life. I've chosen to embrace the maroon type of life, the maroon type of religion, because personally I feel more connected to a religion that stems from a place where where I originally, where I did not come from it, but like my forefathers originally came from it, and we're like the start of earth began in. And that's a fact. We need to realize that we are dividing ourselves with religion. You're allowed to have your beliefs, but do not allow it to divide you and allow it to divide your people.
Yeah, but basically, like in addition to what, cause I respect your, we can't really force people to believe what we believe, but regarding, but in addition to what you're saying though, aside from religion being some form of control and all of that, but personally believe that that apart from some form of control, I think that the people them do in the religion thing, especially Christianity, like some of the leaders, right? Like we bring up the TD Jake situation, cause a lot of people know that with the TD Jake, he's a pastor, and him depend the public. Well, not even if we describe him as a pastor, but people see him as a pastor. But regarding to what him did, right? Him in the pulpit, him preach and him say, "Oh, God is this and Jesus is King," and put on a show for the masses and all of them here. But when it comes down to living the life now, if him a go preach and I go say, "Oh, you must live a life this way," please God and then something there, him now under fire couple weeks ago because him a par with secular people like P. Diddy, for instance. We all know how P. Diddy get down. Like him keep him Hollywood parties, them him abuse and him do all sort of stuff to people, make them forget a record deal. People have to sleep with him to do this, him keep him party them, and him do all sort of some ritual and party where people come out and expose, and him end up TD Jakes, who is a pastor, him end up their theme party and I take part in them rituals them and all of them something there. So because of them something what happened, leaders who supposed to they then preach the word of God and lead people to Christ and lead people live the right way. You as a pastor doing that now with the body of Christ in all of them something there. People are going to drift from religion because them are going to say, "Oh, my pastor get caught and do this, so I'm going to leave religion because of this," and him lead people astray. So things like them hear me and say the leaders them who up there, the Pope Francis and all of them fat people here, them not, you know, because of them so many people are coming from religion.
But if you follow a religion based on the leaders, then you yourself are, in my opinion, an idiot. Because to follow any religion based on what a leader says is you should know in your heart what God wants from you, and you should be able to follow that. You should not follow a religion based on what religious leaders say to you, because as I'm pretty sure there's versions in the Bible and even versions in the Muslim holy book, the Quran, that says that no one has the right to judge you but God Himself. That is what it says in the Muslim holy book and in the Holy Bible, that no one has the right to judge you but God Himself. God did not appoint any religious leaders. He did not do so. He appointed prophets. He appointed prophets.
Remember say he never appoint, you said he never appoint religious leaders, but remember look on people like Moses, Joseph.
He was not a religious leader. He was given power through God to act, but he was not a religious leader. Moses was given power by God to act, but he was not a religious leader. A religious leader, there's no religion none of the major religions have a proper religious leader. There should be no religious leaders in any religion, because, as said, people are prone to fall astray from God, and people are prone to make mistakes. Once you are human, you will make mistakes. You should not have the right to judge anyone over their mistakes, over the ones that you make 1,000 times a day. You are not. We are all equal, and no one is special. The fact of the matter is that there are no proper religious leaders that were appointed by God. There were prophets, there were people who were given power through God to act upon his will. But other than that, they are no more special than the regular people themselves. That is the truth. So if you follow a religion and allow yourself to be led astray because your pastor was caught on video doing whatever mix up that Jamaicans have to follow. Because personally, I don't know that because I don't listen to Jamaican mix up. Whatever mix up there is to be followed. And you listen to and you see your leader involved in it, and you decide, oh, I'm going to stop following this religion because my leader is involved in mix up. And it is the fault of your own for allowing one man to be able to lead you astray.
Yeah, but regarding to that as well, with the religious leader thing, like there are some of them actually, cause me really, you have some people who God really and truly appoint. Because with religious leaders, like for example, like with prophets, you have prophets in the generation where God really and truly appoint and him give them a message to come out, tell people, say, change, break up your folly grounds, change this way about you for end up make it into heaven. But you have some people who fake and them come out, them God never give them the message to preach to people and them wait. So me I said that's why the Bible talk about discernment. Discernment.
God has given, you're right, God has given people miracles and gifts to be able to act upon and to be able to see stuff and to be able to spread information. That might be true, but however, that is still not a religious leader. A religious leader is never really appointed by God because no one has the right to lead a religion on earth. No one but God has the right to lead a religion on earth. A religious leader means that this person is one of our leading figures in a religion. Who are you as a human being? Either God anointed by God or not. Once you're a human being, you are approached to make failures. Moses made failures, I'm pretty sure. It was probably not highlighted in the Bible, but he probably made failures. He was also a human being. What he probably did was ask for forgiveness, and God supported him and helped him, but he was still a human being and made failures. So you're right that God might give people powers to act through him, but nonetheless, they are just people who are prophets and made to follow through God's will, as God is the ultimate religious leader. But otherwise, there's no religious leaders because there's no such thing as you being able to lead a religion of a deity. There's no such thing as that. And as I said, if you allow yourself to be influenced by what a so-called religious leader does, when you know that they're human, it's going to cause you failure. Because even the most morally upright and the most morally upstanding people, you will never know what they do behind closed doors, and that is a fact of the matter. You can do 1,000 stuff behind closed doors and nobody will know unless somebody video it and post it and somebody find out somehow. Nobody will know. Or, but you can still go in a public and talk about Batman for dead, them type of stuff. Everybody who don't support God for dead. Everybody who do this and this and this for dead. Everybody, you can still go in out in public and say such stuff. But either way, it does not change the fact of the matter that you never know. And the people who speak out the most, sometimes you have to be careful because the people with the loudest voices, they do the loudest things behind closed doors. You never know the person who speaks the most does the most behind closed doors. So that's why you cannot trust the logic of people when they speak out against certain stuff, because some people will do those stuff, speak out against it, and inside of their heart they know they've done it, but they know it. So for them, they feel like it's wrong, But so they're just speaking out their experience and telling other people subconsciously that you're not to do this and it's wrong and it's this and this and that, but they cannot avoid their temptation themselves to do it. So the point of the matter is you cannot rely on any religious leader, anyone except for your God. And that is why I personally I don't go to church. I tell my Christian friends, listen here, if you want to go to church, that's up to you. But I understand also if you don't go to church. Because even in Jamaica, especially in the Jamaican churches, the people them bad mind bad. You will think you're in a community of religious people who are properly and upstanding, but some of the Jamaican churches are some of the most toxic places on earth, and they're very very bad mind. You'll go inside that church, and people who will be talking about God will secretly be in the church, talking to them church sisters and so on, and disrespecting you and talking about rumors about you and so. Some of the people who are supposed to be the most morally upright and so on, they are some of the hypocrites behind closed doors. And they say, and the worst people in that church sometimes are the old Jamaican women and the old Jamaican people in their church. Some of the worst people in the church sometimes when it comes to religion and it comes to Jamaica. Personally, that's my experience in Jamaican churches. That's why I don't really to go to churches, because I just, especially when you have religious people like that, they discourage you and they make you not want they make you not want to take part in the religion and not want to go to these religious type of things, because honestly it's just it's toxicity and no one wants to be in such an environment, whether you believe in a God or not.
Yeah, but I respect that what you're saying is fair enough. You do have some points that I believe you're actually awareness, and especially some stuff where God no please actually happen in the church where just brought up which him himself will deal with. But and I respect your belief. Everyone has belief as I stated. But in my opinion, regarding to the religious leaders, um alright, in my opinion, I strongly believe in my spirit that God him do appoint religious leaders. Cause as me say, like prophets, your evangelists and all of them people here will deal with the religious side of things. I do believe that him do set people like them there for lead his people, for lead them flocks. But it's up to we as people for have the discernment, because God placed discernment in our way, and it's up to we for have the knowledge for say God, because the Bible say we for test the spirit and you will know the fruits of people to see if them actually are the real thing. So with we having the discernment to be able to see. So if one pastor go come up one day and I go preach on the pulpit, or if a prophet go come and say, God said this and God said that, and all of them some here, you can able to pick up in your spirit say, something right with the pastor you teach, but something right with the prophet you talk about. So by that, by the Holy Spirit, you're able to tell say something wrong and something right. So the Holy Spirit starts to talk to you, and God starts to tell you say, this not right, and you end up of the knowledge and you move from that, and you end up not be lead astray because you have the knowledge. So that is my opinion, when I strongly believe upon how God do his thing. To
You're
religious.
entitled to your opinion, and I cannot say that it's wrong or that it's false, because I said it's an opinion, it's not a fact. What I've also said is also an opinion based on what I've seen and what I've experienced. You might be very right when you say religious leaders are appointed by God and so on to actually lead people. Um, it's all, as I said, the thing with religion is no one ever knows who is right or who is wrong, because as said, only God has the proper right to judge anyone, and the only executioner in in most religions is the God Himself. So unless He's personally judge you, there's no way for you to properly know what you're. But either way, that's the thing about religion. It's a topic that can never be finished. It's a topic that can always be debated, and you could debate about it for hours upon hours. You could debate on it upon for years if you can find somebody who a religious scholar, you can debate with them about religion for centuries if God allows it to live so long. So the fact of the matter is that religion is always going to be a hot topic in our society, even if its influence is waning upon our people. It's always going to be an influence in our society.
Yeah, I think that we actually raised some good points on religion. And the final thing that I would add on to what you have stated was that when I said that you have experienced as a member of the church with bad mind people, and people are doing something there, like factors like those was what I was saying that actually lead people from the church, that lead people from God, because stuff like them that do happen in the church. You have people, especially the women, you have some women when them go to church, them just like a nightclub, them a go. The whole of them wear the shortest thing in a church. Yes, the Bible say, come as who you are, whether you're lesbian, whether you're bisexual, whether you're this, you come as who you is, God change you, cleanse you, and all them something there. But you have people who know the truth, and yet still them live them life as them please. Them come to the church, wear the shortest sex, the skirt, all of them skin a show, them seduce the pastor, seduce this and that. Then adultery start for coming. Them something they start for happen. People are cussing at the church. People are saying me this and me that. And it cause contention in the church. And because of them something here, people leave the church. People leave religion. And the stuff like them here are things what happen. So
Again, yeah, it's a contentious situation, in fact, because yeah, as said, you're bringing up the women and shorts and so on, and short skirts and so on. But again, realistically, again, a person has a right to dress how they want, and again, you're not in the right to judge that unless God Himself has judged that. So you might find it yourselves to be disrespectful to God. But again, you're not in the proper right to judge that. There's no one. As I'm saying, the problem with Christians is you guys no, not even Christian. The problem in most religion is you guys need to stop judging people, and you guys just need, if you believe God is going to come and judge everybody, you don't need to judge anybody, because you know, so when God come in, will deal with them case. So why you gonna take up your effort and go judge people and go raise your voice for this and that, when you know, so when God come in and go, him and go deal with them case? What is the point of that all, when you know when your God comes, He's going to deal with that all? Of course, you can enlighten people to the truth and to your truth, because I'm not even going to say the truth, because the truth is subjective based on what someone believes. So your truth, you can enlighten somebody to your truth and tell them what you think you believe, and what you know you believe, and and what you think they should follow. But at the same time, if they don't follow it, you cannot force it upon them, and you cannot judge them for that either, because as said, in your religion and in your belief, God is the one who does the judging. So you're not in the right to judge anyone for anything that they've done. So your role should be to wait until God has come for Him to judge you, to see how you have performed in your religion, and then after He's judged you, to see how He will judge the other person who you yourself have judged internally. But you never take it upon yourself to judge somebody, because you're not in the proper conditions or the proper right to do that as any type of human being. Yes, every sin is not the same. Some sins might be worse than others, but either way, a sin is a sin, and one must recognize that they are not perfect.
yes, and the other thing that I would take into consideration as well is that God, him not force. God doesn't force people to live by him rule. Like if you want to follow him rule, you follow him rule. If you don't want to follow him rule, you don't follow him rule. Him give us a choice. So if you want to get up, you get up and you say, "Oh God, me no want to worship you because you're not the real God. Me not believe say you're the real God. Me not believe say Jesus did come and in did dead for us. So me go worship one other God. Me go worship who me get up. Me go dress the way how me want dress. Me go talk the way I want. Me go live my life how me want. Like God never force you to do that. Him give us a choice, and you're free to make the choice where you want to make. But at the same time, there's consequences for your actions. So if you have to get up and you say, oh, God not going to tell you, say, change your ways, do this and that. You live your life the way you want to, but at the end of the day, there's going to be judgment there. Hell and heaven are going to there. Fire and heaven are going to there. So when you do that now, that's how when people, and that's the problem with people, like, when them go, you see when you tell them what's wrong, like, when them experience it for themselves, that's when them realize, say, what they were doing was wrong. And that's the sad part about life. So you actually did make some good points. I actually respect, as you say, we have our own beliefs, different worlds, different everything. And we just have to thank, guys, we just have to thank Matthew Montague for coming out. It's actually 35 minutes since we actually have, and it's a good podcast. He was my first guest, and this topic, as I said, it's an ongoing battle, I think, with religion, because different people have them different beliefs, people have them different perspectives, and at the same time, we have to be respectful to people, and and in what they believe, and yeah, and you have any more thoughts you'd want to give to people? Motivation, anything you'd want to give to people regarding to religion? Any more thoughts on religion?
Well, my tip to you is whatever religion you follow, try to be a leader in that religion and try to hold your best to that religion, because it makes, as again, this is not a judgment, but it makes no sense to follow a religion if you're not if you don't agree to the key principles. So any religion that you follow, make sure that you actually believe in the key principles of it, and that you are proud to call yourself a member of that religion every day that you wake up. Otherwise, you'll find yourself constantly questioning that religion.
Yeah. So I want to thank you. So thank you guys for watching the podcast. Expect more. I hope you guys love Matthew Mantiga. You can follow him on Instagram. You can tell them your Instagram name, any socials, anything. And they can follow you. Email him, link him up. I will leave his page in my description, especially on YouTube here. So guys, remember, God loves you. Remember, everyone has a choice, but choice comes with consequences. And I love you all so very much. Stay tuned for the next podcast. And thank you, Matthew, for coming out, sharing your beliefs and everything. Thank you so very much.
No problem, Kimani.
Yeah, thanks.